Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So I know that I've been incognito for about a month and a half, and that's for good reason. Every time this time of the year, I always take a sabbatical from YouTube because it's a grind, okay? It's a tough deal, and it's important for me to maintain balance between my family, work, YouTube, just being a friend to David and my other friends. But we're back. So this is a new season of Unity Motorsports Garage, and we have a lot of really cool things coming this season, and I think you're going to like it. Mandy's Explorer wound up running hot once again. You remember probably about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I did a video on why I hate modern cars. Had to replace the water pump on that 3.5 Duratec engine, and if you don't know about that, you need to look it up. It's a nightmare. Water pump's driven off timing chain. Yeah, you can pull the engine out of the vehicle faster than you can change the water pump. So when that happened, the wife and I made a decision. We were going to either one, trade the vehicle in, or two, buy something else to replace it and keep the Explorer for our kids. Well, with that being said, we went back and forth. We test drove Broncos. Love the way the Bronco looks, but it's not big enough, you know. I'm a big dude, you know, and not practical. So we came to the conclusion that whatever we bought had to be practical. And we went and drove, I know you're going to hate me for this, but some GM vehicles. We went and looked at some Buicks because she was looking at another SUV. And then I got her on the idea of a truck. Initially, she was totally dead set against a truck. And so we went and drove one, and it wasn't love at first sight, but she soon found why it's so practical. The first F-150 we drove was like a 2024 Lariat. I mean, super nice truck, but it was crazy expensive. I'm wanting to say it was like $67,000, not happening here. And so we decided to look at the STX, and that was the next truck that we drove, which is a more of a base truck, if you will. It doesn't have all the frills and exciting features. And even with that being said, with the Coyote engine, we were looking at $53,000 out the door. And I can't do that. You know, I'm not going to do that. And so the wife sent me this in a text message. And what is it? It's a 2021 STX crew cab, two-wheel drive Coyote truck. So meaning that this truck is fairly light because this thing is like a base model truck, but it does have some nice amenities in it. And yeah, let's take a look at it. This thing is awesome. Like I said, it's two-wheel drive because honestly, here in North Carolina, you really don't need four-wheel drive. It rarely even snows anymore, and I just like this color combination. It already had the bed cover. Like I said, it's a STX, Unity Motorsports Garage decal there, but the inside of this thing is just the way I like it. Check this out. Still has a key, okay? Still has analog gauges there, even though they're digitally operated, I know. Little 8-inch infotainment center there. I think that's what they call it. But cloth seats, manually adjusted, no power seats here. Pretty much as base as you can get a truck. It still has carpet, and that's part of the STX package. This truck has an L3 axle in it, which after much looking on the internet, come to find out that's 331 gear, electronic locking differential. And so we drove all the way to Lexington, North Carolina, which is about an hour hour and a half from where we're at to pick his truck up at Parkway Ford up there. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. We're happy. Before we take a test drive in the F-150, I just want to say thank you to all the viewers and subscribers to the channel. During this little bit of a break, hit a milestone for Motor Tech Features. David Vizard hit 60,000 subscribers, and I hit 40,000 subscribers on the same day, only about an hour apart. So we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts, all the people who watch. And if you're not subscribed, just go ahead and click that little tab down there. I know you want to. We're going to have some really good content. And let's go drive an F-150 with David. Here's the heart of the truck, the Coyote V8, no EcoBoost here. This engine is rated at 400 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. And yeah, it really gets with the program. Alright, so we are in Mandy's F-150 here. And I'm taking David for a ride to see his impressions of this thing, because it's quick. It really surprised me when we picked this thing up. So yeah, see, it has 29,219 miles on it now. And let's go for a ride. So one of the unique features of this truck compared to David's Mustang is
it's big.
Well, it's big, okay? They both have the 10R80 transmission, but this can be manually shifted where yours can't.
No.
It's
I
really
got
weird.
Mine was the absolute basic Mustang, and even in basic form, I felt it was a really good buy. It suited my temperament, and let me tell you, I've just sat in Andy's truck for the first time. The seat in it was made for me at Ford Motor Company, so let me tell you, you can sit in these seats for 500 miles, no sweat. Okay, Andy, let's see what it does for a standing start.
Alright, so I'm going to take the advanced track off and traction control. I'm not even going to put it in sport mode, okay?
Right, normal start. Oh yeah, nice. It gets with the program like it's a sports car. Really, I mean, I think here, let me see, good comparison. It's like a 4-seat truck Miata, right? Gets up and goes, all of it, and as it shifts up through the gears,
yeah,
it seems to continue accelerating just like it did in first gear. So
let's see here.
Let's go that way.
Yeah.
Right, so
now I put it in sport mode.
very noticeable difference. Yes, this isn't just a truck. It's a fun vehicle to drive.
It's a hot rod, isn't it?
Yeah, really is. And oh, here's the other thing. It doesn't ride like a truck. I'm amazed. If I was just sat in this and I couldn't see what was going on, I would be convinced I was in some sporty car, right? As well as it goes, I gotta say, I'm more impressed with the suspension. It's really comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah. So
right? This is a vehicle that you can do anything with, including drive across America comfortably.
yeah, the back seat has so much room in this thing.
Yeah.
One cool feature about this truck is it has an electronic locking rear differential.
So you can creep out of anything. That was second gear, right? Started in second gear.
Started in second gear.
That second gear acceleration is pretty much like a lot of vehicles' first gear. And I'm not talking about pedestrian vehicles, I'm talking about vehicles we regard as sporty.
Yeah.
Now,
it's just at 7,000 RPM, David.
Yeah, it does feel like you're driving a big sports car, doesn't it?
It does.
Right. Now, there's a snag to this, a big one. I want one now. Boy, this is sure one good looking truck as well.
Alright, I'm going to do one more rip to sack it. I mean, because this thing is just, it's fun to drive.
Oh,
I would have never imagined an F-150 just being fun to drive, a regular F-150.
You can come on the freeway here with this kind of power. Even if it's moving fast, you come down that on-ramp, by the time you're at the end of the on-ramp, you could well be doing 75 miles an hour with no trouble whatsoever.
You could be doing triple digits, no problem.
This vehicle here is definitely, not only is it the versatility of a truck, it's definitely a driver's vehicle as well. Look, I'm a picky son of a bitch. If it doesn't handle like a sports car and it doesn't go like a race car, anything that detracts from that detracts from my desire to own one. I now know that I would really like to have one of these F-150s. I'm really impressed. And of course this 10-speed automatic, same as I've got in the Mustang, I love it, right? I absolutely love it. And I'm a manual transmission guy.
Oh yeah, we both are.
Yeah, right. This is the ultimate transmission. You're beautiful. Yes, you are. You're a beautiful girl.
Alright, so we know David loved the truck. I mean, come on. I mean, what's not to love? So now we're going to ride along with the wife and see what she has to say about the truck, because she's been driving it about 2 weeks now. Does she love it? Does she hate it? We're going to find out.
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
Okay.
All right.
So this is my wife, Mandy. She is actually my better half. She has put up with my butt for 17 years. We've been through some stuff, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
She could tell you all the dirt, but we're not doing that today. So the reason why we're doing this is her truck. We had to come to terms about buying a vehicle, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and I didn't murder him, so
well,
that's a plus.
So when I first told you about a truck, you were not enthused about that one bit, were you?
No, I had never pictured myself driving a truck. I didn't think it was very practical.
We've had this thing about 2 weeks now.
Yes.
What's your take on it now?
I love it. The thing that came into mind is the comfort level. We spend a lot of time in the car. Our kids go to a charter school that's about 20-30 minutes from where we live, and then that school is in the other direction from my job, which is like an hour from where the school is. And so we spend a lot of time in the car, and our kids are like fully grown. They're not like little guys. So when we test drove the first truck, I sat in the back to check comfort, because we also have a kid that's high maintenance and loves to do her makeup while we're driving, and so me and Andy have to take turns sitting in the back and driving. Oh, yeah. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
She does eyelashes and everything, but she's adorable. Anyway, so and I was really surprised. I didn't know that a truck could be that comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a eye-opening thing for both of us, because we originally started out looking at SUVs, and you know, SUVs are great, but they're pretty limited in what they can do. This being a truck, you've actually used it as a truck already, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So I said I work for a nonprofit. I work for a 12-month program for women in recovery from substance abuse. It's something I care a great deal about. And so sometimes we'll get items that are donated, and I was able to actually go with my manager to a warehouse and get some items for our ladies and for a homeless ministry that's in our community. And I was able to use the truck to deliver like tents and just other supplies that people might need. We've personally used it to pick up a new mattress for ourselves. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And it's only been a couple weeks and we're already using it for those things.
One of the things that I wanted to use the truck for, of course, is to have a playmate with Casper. That way I can use this thing to pull Casper to the racetrack whenever the time arises. And yeah, I mean, it's perfect for that. It fits, it checks all the boxes that we set out for. The comfort. And one of the things that we didn't talk about was you were stressing fuel economy. You wanted fuel economy in a vehicle, didn't you?
I did.
And so this engine combination here, now you had a 2016 Ford Explorer, and the fuel economy was good, but it wasn't great. With this here, we're actually getting about maybe 2 to 3 more miles per gallon than we were with the Explorer.
Or about the same. I don't know.
Well,
I'm still not sold on that yet, but you know, it is what it is. I can't believe that it doesn't get worse fuel economy
Being
than
a
the
full-size
Explorer.
truck.
Yes, that surprised me. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. Now, you didn't care about engines when it come to picking the truck.
No, that's one thing that's unique about me and Andy. Like, I love this man dearly with my whole heart, and we did not bond over our special interests. We bonded over like our faith and our political interest, and I love his heart. And but I don't care about engines. I can appreciate that he loves them, and it makes me happy that he has this great community that he gets to create content for. And I love Casper. Casper's like our third child, you know. But I don't care about engine specs or any of the things that go along with that. No. Mm-mm.
So the reason why I chose the Coyote over the EcoBoost is I have friends in the industry that work on these things, and when you ask them, they would rather have the Coyote engine. I got a funny David story. You remember when we were going to pick this thing up?
Yes, I do.
David called me, right? And so we're on the way to Lexington to pick this thing up, and he's already talking about he was already talking about things that we could do to it.
He was talking about lowering it and changing something.
Yeah,
and
putting a
like,
supercharger on it and doing all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, no.
Not this one.
So pretty much, if we do anything to this thing, it's going to be to make it get better fuel economy. It's going to make it tow better. It's not going to be a drag truck, although it's pretty fun. But so
I don't need to know what you're doing it when I'm not with you.
never tell our secrets. So we've been talking about all the good. What's the bad? What do you not like about it?
Well, it's not that I don't like about it, but I'm getting used to it because at work we have a passenger van. I drive this pretty big, but like the parking space for that is in the front of the residential house, you know. And so I'm having to get used to navigating a large vehicle. This vehicle specifically, it feels like it drives itself sometimes. Like it just, it drives really well. It drives better than anything I've ever driven before, you know.
Yeah. And that Explorer was pretty loaded. I mean,
and there were things about the Explorer that were nice. I liked that I could punch in a code and not necessarily have to, you know, find the fob or the key thing. But and I liked that I had the keyless start on that, you know. But
yeah,
there is something neat about pressing the little button with like the switchblade key. It kind of feels.
See, I like having a key. It makes it more analog to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, and speaking of analog, I've noticed this thing has some things that feel analog, like having the actual.
Oh, the antenna.
The antenna, like it's got an antenna. I haven't driven a car with an antenna in a while. But it drives really good. It's very comfortable. I love that it's got like the Apple Play thing in it, and I can just hook up my Spotify, and that's really nice.
Yeah, David, he said he wouldn't have any problem going cross country in this truck.
No, oh, absolutely. You could do that with, yeah. Because in the back we got a cover over the truck, and we got a little trip coming up. We're going on a work trip with Andy, and so we can put our luggage back there, have a little cooler with like drinks and snacks, and the kids still have plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
What are we gonna call this truck?
Yet to be determined.
So leave it in the comments what you think this truck should be called. I like Mom Muscle Truck myself.
I do not like that.
Well, y'all name it, okay? Leave that up to y'all. Have you felt the power of a Coyote? Do you know what it's about?
Not really. I mean, I haven't. I've seen you do it.
Alright, on this straightaway. 1, 2, 3. Let it eat. Hold it down. Woo! That's my girl.
That was kind of fun.
That's my girl.
That was a little bit fun.
Alright. Any parting thoughts on this truck before we let everybody go?
She's done us good so far.
Absolutely.
And I do enjoy driving her.
So, it's a she.
It is. It's always a she.
It's always a she.
We get stuff done.
Okay. Well, a lot of cool stuff coming up on Unity Motorsports Garage. Casper's getting ready to hit the track with the transmission swap. David's EcoBoost Mustang upgraded the intercooler on it, getting it ready for the No Name Nationals. We have the Crown Vic. David is finished with the cylinder heads for the most part. So a lot of cool stuff, and you will get to see the F150 in future videos, I'm sure, pulling Casper to the track. And I might actually do a review video of like how well does a Coyote pull Casper, because this truck is rated to pull 9,500 pounds, and with the open trailer in Casper, it'd probably be towing around 7,000 pounds. So it'd be interesting to put it to the test. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So until next time, this is Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage.
And this is Mandy from Unity Motorsports Garage.
Mrs. Unity. We will catch you later.